And after weeks of intense political contest, curtains have come down on the much-awaited assembly elections in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. The results for both states out on the 23rd of November. And we've seen Bollywood bigwigs, India Inc. voices, sports persons all coming out to vote today. But yet, voter turnout figures in India's financial capital has remained abysmal. Maximum city logging in the minimum turnout, lagging behind the state's average turnout, 58% as of 5 o'clock this evening. In Maharashtra, the ruling Mahayuti coalition is up against the Mahavikas Aghadi, the MVA, which includes the Congress, Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, and the NCP. While the MVA is hoping for a repeat of the Lok Sabha polls where it pulled ahead of the Mahayuti alliance, the latter, of course, looking at coming back to power. In Jharkhand, we've seen Hemant Soren aiming at another term as chief minister, and this as the BJP looks at upsetting his plans, hoping for a repeat of their own Lok Sabha performance. In Jharkhand, the BJP is eyeing to unseat the JMM Congress alliance led by Hemant Soren. Hemant has gotten bail from the Supreme Court in a graft case and now is looking at riding a sympathy wave and shore up support among tribals to hold on to power. The state has seen 68% voter turnout until 5 o'clock this evening. Exit polls by JVC indicate that the BJP-led Mahayuti is the front-runner in Maharashtra and Jharkhand both. And these JVC exit polls are predicting 150 to 167 seats for the Mahayuti, while in Jharkhand, the BJP-led alliance is projected at winning 40 to 44 seats. Let's unpack these numbers and the high-stakes political battle that's playing out in the two states of Jharkhand and Maharashtra. And for that, we're joined by Dr. Piyush Joshi. He's a political analyst. Alka Dhupkar is joining us as well, Senior Assistant Editor at the Times of India Digital. Welcome both to the show. In fact, let me ask you, Alka, at the outset this year, the exit polls, especially for the parliamentary elections and then again for Haryana, the exit polls have been called out for being inaccurate. There have been public apologies from polling companies about this too. How much do you trust the exit poll numbers this time that you're seeing from Maharashtra and Jharkhand? Are they reflecting what you're expecting?
Kind of in last 1 month, we have seen that voters are taking Mahayuti seriously. Earlier, most of the sympathy in rural Maharashtra, in urban Maharashtra, was with Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi because two major parties are split in Maharashtra, and the split has not gone all well with the voters. So we were seeing that sympathy wave until Lok Sabha results. But after Lok Sabha results, Mahayuti, the three-party coalition government in Maharashtra, has done some revdi politics, revdi magic so to use the word used by the Prime Minister of India. So where, he said that all these schemes announcements are revdi. So Ladki Bahin Yojana per se, people are enjoying the money they are getting to women, getting through Ladki Bahin Yojana. Not only that, for the OBC consolidation, like they have done in Haryana, the Mahayuti government has announced more than 50 corporations in Maharashtra, particularly in two regions, Marathwada and Vidarbha, where Congress is very strong in Vidarbha and in Marathwada. The Mahayuti government did not win a single seat during Lok Sabha election. So they knew that winning those two battlegrounds are very important because there lies more than 100 seats for Maharashtra.
Correct.
So they have come up with more schemes, and the advertisement is huge.
Yes.
Very strong positioning of leaders. Mahayuti government has been done through these advertisement, and so I would say that yes, it is looking like in last 1 month people are taking Mahayuti seriously.
Right.
But do I
And
believe
that's
exit
reflecting in the
polls?
numbers, you think,
That
in
is
the
your
exit poll
question.
numbers?
Yes. No, but your question, I don't trust any exit poll,
You don't.
and I'm curious, and I want to keep my excitement till the voting results are out,
All right.
and I want to see the magic played out by the voters of Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and Uttar Pradesh.
Is there going to be magic or not? Mr. Joshi, do weigh in on this. And of course, Alka has spoken about the freebie culture. It has been maligned, like she mentioned, it has been called the Revdi culture by the Prime Minister. But then there are schemes like Madhi Ladki Bahin. They have their own way of swaying a voter base. We've seen that in other states as well. In this case, of course, the voter base being women. So between that and the Mahavikas Aghadi's promise of social justice, the caste census, which seems to have the winning hand this time that you see reflected in at least the exit poll numbers?
Well, Vikram, as far as I'm concerned, both the elections are going to be too close to call. I am looking at the state of Maharashtra from from an outsider's perspective. I do not belong to the state of Maharashtra, so I myself am confused. Which leader belongs to which particular political party? Is this leader still in Shiv Sena, or is this leader is in Uddhav Sena? Is this leader is still with Sharad Pawar, or is this leader is with Ajit Dada Pawar? Ajit Pawar, either ways, on the results day, on the day the results are announced, one of the Shiv Sena is going to be demolished and one of the NCP is going to be demolished. And we are in for interesting times ahead. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, I personally believe that it is a little bit of edge in favor of Hemant Soren and the India Alliance in Jharkhand. Still, the BJP has covered some ground with that immigration issue. But interesting times ahead. I think Hemant Soren was able to play the emotional card very well. That being an Adivasi, being a Mool Nivasi, he has been targeted by the Enforcement Directorate, and the people of Jharkhand needs to
Yeah.
give a fitting reply to the union government for acting against an Adivasi. So it's an Adivasi versus an immigration card there, and
Yeah.
it's a Gaddar versus an Ek Hai To Safe Hai card in Maharashtra.
Yes.
So interesting times ahead. As far as I'm concerned, too close to call
Too
both the
close to
states.
call.
Exit polls, please do not believe them.
Don't believe exit polls, you're saying. Alka, but that important point that Mr. Joshi is bringing about, and he coming from an outsider perspective, he says this is one of the most confusing elections the state has ever had,
Yeah, true.
and that would be shared. There are literally two NCPs, there are two Shiv Senas, there have been constituencies where parties within the same alliance have fielded more than one candidate, and some of them were asked to withdraw. They go on to fight as independents. How much is this confusion going to show in the final numbers at the end of this election, you think, Alka?
Yes, in 2019, we have seen that, before even 2019, Maharashtra is not new, or Maharashtra is not ignorant about coalition politics. Maharashtra and voters of Maharashtra, leaders of Maharashtra are very much aware about the coalition politics. We have coalition governments. But in 2019, what happened, for the first time, unnatural alliance was called, Congress and Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena joined hand, and Maha Vikas Agadi was formed. After that, we see two party split, and it did not go well with the mindset of people. The Gaddar politics, traitor narrative is still very much alive. We have seen plays around this traitor politics. Pannas okay, sarvo okay. It means 50 crores were given and everything is okay. That that slogan has been very popular. Pannas okay, ekdam okay in Maharashtra. On ground, people are saying that all the leaders who shifted from one party to Mahayuti are clearly having different kind of investigations pending against them, from Nawab Malik to Ajit Pawar. In Eknath Shinde government, we have seen Ravindra Vaikar. The
Yeah.
cases are withdrawn after they joined the Mahayuti government. So voters are not mad. Voters are not foolish. I mean to say, they
Yeah.
understand what is going on here. And sorry, you were asking me about something very specific.
Yes, I was, in fact, but I also want to ask you about these two campaign slogans that seem to have
Hmm.
ignited passionate political debates, and they came from the BJP's side, and something that Mr. Joshi alluded to as well. Batenge to
Yeah.
katenge, ek hai to safe
Yeah.
hai. Do you see these lines resonating among voters to a point where they could polarize them and could affect the outcome of this election in Maharashtra?
I mean, we know the BJP and RSS politics very well. When BJP and RSS come to power, suddenly Hindu khatre mein ho jate hai, right? Until then, everybody is saying the majority people, majority voters are Hindu. And when BJP comes to power, suddenly we see nare like Hindu khatre mein, ek hai to safe hai, batenge to katenge. My question is, कौन बटेंगे तो आप बोल रहे कौन बटेंगे, who is going to divide? All these are voters, all these are Indian citizens who are going to vote. So your slogans are against whom is my question to the BJP. I was part of 2 3 panels earlier where I asked this question, and they are saying, oh, this is your misinformation that they are against Muslim. We are not saying anything against Muslim. This is against people who are not good for the society. This is so vague and this is so laughable. If you are campaigning against Muslim community, let me remind the viewers, after Lok Sabha results, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in one of his rallies gave data, polling station wise data, to say that vote jihad hua hai Mumbai mein, where the numbers of voters the numbers of votes given to UBT in Muslim dominated community and polling station was larger. So he said, you see now who is voting for the opposition, who is voting for the opposition, who is Muslim. So you are labeling constantly Muslim as secondary citizens, secondary voters in the state like Maharashtra, which is known as progressive liberal.
Exactly.
Maharashtra has seen Sant movement. We
Yeah.
have seen as Sant movement. So of course, batenge to katenge. And before I conclude on this point, I want to bring to notice 3 points.
No,
Mr.
no, wait,
Ajit
wait,
Pawar,
wait. One sec, one sec, one
Mr.
sec.
Nitin Gadkari, Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, Pankaja Munde have said that batenge to katenge Mumbai mein nahi chalega. Maharashtra is not
But
for batenge
are
to
we
katenge.
pushing
This is
for
outside
politics of
narrative.
confusion over here? And that's something that I
Yeah.
was pointedly asking at, that
Yes.
Maharashtra today is coming across, even strategy-wise, in terms of what
Yeah.
we saw in the last election in Maharashtra. It was more about the stability factor. Right now, with these kind of slogans, what is the strategy at play? Mr. Joshi,
Yes.
the BJP has been gingerly navigating this alliance with Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar's NCP faction, but how stable is that arrangement as well? Has it affected voter confidence? Do you think voters are working on that stability theme based on sheer relativity? Which side brings more stability? Because, the low voter turnout, at least in urban centers, is being attributed to a feeling that it doesn't matter who you vote for. The way parties are split and realigned, you don't get the feeling that your vote actually counts. Is that going to really reflect in the numbers? And the kind of voter turnout numbers seem to be saying that as well, at least what Mumbai is turning out.
Vikram, isn't that true? Does it really matter who we vote for? We have seen in the past in the state of Madhya Pradesh and Goa and many states in the northeast as well, that the people did vote for the opposition parties, and at the end of the day, Jyotiraditya Scindia switched sides, and the Bharatiya Janata Party ended up forming the government. So certainly and Maharashtra is a state of chaos right now as far as the politicians are concerned. And so the voter, you cannot blame the ordinary citizen for not being interested. He has already assumed that irrespective of which leader I am going to vote for, that person is going to exercise the first opportunity to grab the seat of power as soon as it arrives. So we cannot blame the voter. The low voter turnout, I'm still very wary of that low voter turnout. It can very well increase by a few percentages, as we have seen in the past. I am interested in observing by how much percentage does it increase and over a period of how many days. So that is going to be an interesting factor. As far as the politics is concerned, we know the BJP brand of politics. The BJP brand of politics has always been emotive politics, has always religion centric, is always immigration centric politics. We have seen that kind of politics working around the globe. Donald Trump has won elections based on that. We have seen the emergence of right centric politics all across Europe and America. So the BJP is trying to play the same card. In Jharkhand, the BJP had no election issue whatsoever. So it chose the election issue of immigration. And so it is the issue of immigration versus Vanvasi. And again, in Maharashtra, I would have liked Eknath Shinde, to focus on the issues of governance. They did not focus on the issues of governance, so all they could put up is batenge to katenge, and
Yes.
that's it. So it's
Yes.
just and those are the issues on which the people of the country are also voting,
Right.
and they are getting
So the
a little swayed on that.
yes.
So
So
I think we would like to see more issues of governance when it comes to at least state elections and local municipal body elections.
yeah.
I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah, so the agenda setting, the narratives have been moving towards the lines that you're saying, which makes it
Yeah.
very difficult for a voter today. Alka, also I wanted to bring to your notice about Maharashtra, which is quite unique. The number of independents fighting and winning assembly elections in Maharashtra, it outdoes any other state. If you look at 2019 assembly elections here, 13 independent candidates won. Nearly 15% of the vote share in some constituencies went to independents. So do you think that's going to be a key difference this time as well? Strong local leaders, some rebel candidates as well from the bigger parties. Will they have sway in this election?
Truly, I had interviewed Mr. Suhas Palshikar recently, a political scientist Suhas Palshikar, where he has said that in this election, independents or rebels basically are going to sway the election. That is because the votes are going to divide. I mean, the voting has taken place today. So we are not surprised. In the past, also we have seen Maharashtra politics had been controlled by the independents in this state. So, of course, one of the parts of this election is independents are going to win this election in more number. What we are assuming that it would be somewhere between 15 to 20. If it goes beyond that, then of course,
Yeah,
then the politics will change dramatically.
yeah.
I just wanted to, if we had time, answer your earlier question. Somebody
Go
had
ahead.
posted today,
Yes.
who posted today that I have voted, and I have made a choice out best out of worst. You know, people don't want to vote for Nota. People don't want to go and don't vote, so they are going for vote. But
Yes.
all the options are there saying, okay, इसको दे दे वोट या उसको. So फाइनली दे आर गोइंग एंटी मुस्लिम जो है उसको नहीं देना है, तो कौन इस साइड में है आइडियोलॉजी के, उसको हम वोट देते. दैट इज द ओनली
But is there
what we
clarity
have
on
to say
that count as
filter.
well? That's the moot question,
No,
that do we have
yeah, yeah,
clarity
we
on
don't
which
know.
side stands for
No,
what?
no, no,
That
no,
is the
no,
big
no, not
question,
at
because
all.
then you have this rebel politics as well, Alka. This election is going to
Yes, yes,
decide who
yes.
truly inherits, at least in Maharashtra this time, the Bala Sahib legacy. Again, that is another moot point. The Uddhav Thackeray faction or the Eknath Shinde
Correct.
side. Who's going to lay
That
claim
that
and win that legacy? Because this is the first time an election is being fought after that big split happened of the Shiv Sena.
Yes, so that sympathy is still there, and Mr. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray and all his Sushma Andare and all his political campaigners are using this political sympathy, the ownership of the party symbol, everything. When Uddhav Thackeray was unwell, he was admitted. Then the conspiracy was made, and how everything happened during that time. So he is constantly using this narrative in this election. But we have to also look that sympathy is okay. But what is the strategy of Mahavikas Aghadi post Lok Sabha election, where in the Lok Sabha MVA had did really well, fantastic in Maharashtra. They should have come up with the state story, state narrative. What is their plan for the Maharashtra? You have handled COVID well. Yes, voters were happy with you. But what is the next that you are going to offer? You cannot just criticize Mr. Narendra Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, Gujarat pattern, or Devendra Fadnavis for splitting the party. That has happened. Voters are on your side for that matter. But beyond that, what are you going to do with the loan? The state has. What are you going to do with the market intervention? Be it soybean, be it onion, be it grapes, the constant market intervention done by the central government. Oh, Maharashtra agrarian state is very unhappy with this policy of the central government. What are your promises when it comes to agriculture policies?
Yeah.
What are your policies and plans about the examination?
Yes.
Competitive examination has become a fiasco. There is no, one story, one line about future. What we have seen is reacting to the Mahayuti promises, and I think that at that point Mahayuti government has scored against Mahavikas Aghadi a bit in the last 1 month, using public money, doing better advertisement because they are in power,
Yes,
obviously,
because there
and
is.
better image, positioning.
Mr. Joshi, do you agree with that? That, as far as the balance of the communication going out, it has tilted in the favor of the Mahayuti, because they've taken claim to the kind of development that has taken place in Mumbai. They've talked about the metros, they've talked about creating the flyovers, they've spoken about all these things, and they're saying there'll be more of that. Of course, besides the other katenge batenge agenda of theirs, do you think that is really helping them in this election?
Certainly, the Mahayuti has covered some ground as compared to the Lok Sabha elections. How much ground has it covered? That we will come to know on the day the results are announced. But certainly, the people of Maharashtra have resonated a little bit with the Mahayuti as compared to the times of Lok Sabha election. I personally believe that because Uddhav Thackeray's management during COVID was appreciated all over the country, so had they projected Uddhav Thackeray as the chief minister, had they tried to build this narrative that it is Uddhav Thackeray versus Eknath Shinde, that narrative, could have swung the balance in the favor of the MVA.
Yeah.
They failed to do that. We have always seen with coalition politics, it is the most important post of chief minister, which each and every party wants.
Yes.
But first, you have to win the election first in order to become the chief minister. So they should have done that. They should have projected Uddhav Thackeray as the chief minister, and then certainly it would have been clear advantage MBA. Still, it is too close to call in both the states. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the politics of governance wins, everything else fails.
But there is no CM face on either side as far as the two coalitions are concerned. But also when it comes to the battle of personalities, is it also a test of loyalty versus ambition? You have a Sharad Pawar versus an Ajit Pawar, even within the Sorens. Do you think that is going to play out a lot more in assembly elections at the local level? That's what we are seeing more of, Mr. Joshi?
When it comes to Sharad Pawar versus Ajit Pawar, it's a foregone conclusion. Sharad Pawar is way taller and way larger in personality as compared to Ajit Pawar. And that's why Ajit Pawar held that press conference, when he said that he had Ashirwad of Sharad Pawar when he had that meeting, when he switched sides. So he wanted to communicate to the voters of Maharashtra that it was with the blessings of Sharad Dada Pawar that he's doing what he's doing. So if his stature was equal to Sharad Pawar, he wouldn't have done so. So Sharad Dada Pawar is basically much larger figure as compared to Ajit Dada Pawar, and so that is. Whether it was with the blessing of Sharad Pawar remains to be answered.
Yeah.
And whether Ajit Pawar is going to switch sides after the results are announced, that is also remains to be seen.
Yes.
So it's interesting to be, there is a saying that when Sharad Pawar buys a ticket from Mumbai to Delhi, he has a boarding pass from Chennai and he lands up in Kolkata. So very interesting times ahead. Let's see.
You call them interesting times, but they're also very confusing times, like we've discussed. Alka,
totally
there are so many of these moving pieces right now as far as the outcome of these elections are concerned. Which are the ones that you're going with? Your closing comments on how these elections, which are the factors that are going to decide ultimately who wins?
First of all, of course, Hindu and Muslim politics done in Maharashtra is going to decisive politics. We have seen Hindu Sakal Morchas, more than 100 Hindu Sakal right-wing morchas in Maharashtra. So that has built up the background for this election. The welfare schemes, the Revdi schemes for Ladki Bahin Yojana scheme. Third, CM phase. Of course, I would say that Eknath Shinde in CSDS survey, I think in JVC survey is also coming as a first contender for CM phase. In Congress, Nana Patole wants to become chief minister. Prithviraj Chavan, the former chief minister, is there. Balasaheb Thorat is there. In NCP, Sharad Pawar's NCP, Jayant Patil and Supriya Sule are in competition to become chief minister. And in as we have seen in Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, of course, Uddhav Thackeray is former chief minister,
yes.
But people assume that, okay, can he join BJP one day? So that, that uncertainty still lingers around in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So we don't know what will happen. And of course, the excitement and the tension, the nervousness that are we going to see the government
yes.
on the counting day or not is absolutely there in the environment.
Well, the uncertainties do stand, as they do with most elections. This one, like Mr. Joshi pointed out, too close to call. And of course, we are testing how BJP's approach to alliances is shaping up after what we've seen in Haryana. How is their approach, their support to local leadership in Maharashtra, in Jharkhand, and how it shapes their future political strategy for growth as far as their parties hold in different states of the country. All of that is going to be put to test in these two elections, and we'll be watching that very closely. And we'll keep circling back to experts like you. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Joshi and Alka, with your perspectives on our continuing coverage on the elections in these two critical states of Maharashtra and, of course, Jharkhand. The results, of course, we don't have too long to wait. They'll be out this Saturday, the 23rd of November. And we'll stay with you and walk you through, get you the requisite analysis as well. But for the moment, from me, Vikramoza, and the entire team, thank you very much for joining us on Battle for the States.